Really weird stuff. That's very weird.
Really Weird Stuff is a holistic Twin Peaks podcast. That means we discuss each episode within the context of the series as a whole. In other words, spoilers abound. Welcome to Really Weird Stuff, a Twin Peaks podcast, episode 13. I'm Jessica Baxter.
I'm Annie Malone.
And today we're discussing season 2, episode 5. I have a method. And today we're discussing Season 2, Episode 5, The Orchid's Curse. This episode originally aired on October 27th, 1990. It was written by Barry Pullman, not to be confused with Bill Pullman, and directed by Graeme Clifford. And to help us talk about this episode is my wonderful husband, Chris Burgos. Hello.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Everyone's being really normal tonight.
There's something in the there's a weird breeze through the trees. Something's happening. It'll be fine.
I mean, those drugs we took had a deep smell to them, so some really weird stuff.
Really weird stuff.
Yeah, there's allusions to the titular weird stuff. That's the weird stuff, is the deep smelling drugs.
You're the titular weird stuff, baby.
Oh. Romance is not dead between us. Let's just get right into this episode, which opens on a fun shot of the front of the Salish Lodge, aka the Great Northern. We never get to see this angle.
I know, yeah, I was excited. I have been to Salish Lodge many times.
Yeah.
Very recognizable.
I've never been in it. What's it like?
It's very nice.
Like, how is it nice? It doesn't look anything like what the show shows.
No,
wood and totem poles and stuff.
No, it looks like that.
It does.
Like it's like very luxe, rich, like woodsy. It has a really nice spa.
Maybe it's
and like
with
a
I don't
sauna.
know if it looked like that then, but it's definitely updated versions of that look now.
Are there like taxidermied hooves holding up guns in all the rooms?
No.
I don't think so.
Not anymore. Back then.
Or like little native ceramic statues on bedsides, and there's all kinds of weird. There's like a bass in Cooper's room.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's like luxury. It's like they all have fireplaces and soaking tubs. It is a nice place.
It's a nice place. It's not the kind of place that just anybody visiting
No.
this small town would
No,
be
it's like a getaway, like where, yeah.
It's a spa.
It's a destination kind of, yeah. Lodge and spa, yeah. It's so nice.
Anyhoozle. In this context, it is the Great Northern Hotel, reasonably priced accommodation. But apparently the beds are not great because, once again, Cooper had a rough sleep. This guy. I mean, I know he also has...
Drinking coffee after dinner.
Coffee after dinner. He was shot 4 days ago.
Right.
That seems like more likely what's hurting him.
I love how he's like, I'm just going to push all that down.
So specific. On a cul-de-sac in a suburb of my mind.
Persistent soreness in the rib area, which I'm treating each morning with 15 extra minutes of yogic discipline. After which, thankfully, the pain retreats to a cul-de-sac in a distant suburb of my conscious mind.
That's so specific. Like, his mind is really the city, and so the cul-de-sac in the suburb is like really the outskirts of his mind. I guess, is
what else is out in the suburbs?
I'm thinking the neighborhood in Blue Velvet is like where he's pushed it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
crossover.
An ear.
It's the ear.
His pain is on a whole other mystery right now. Going out on a date with Diane.
I'm going to begin today with a head stake. Diane, I'm now upside down. Mind becoming porous. Today's tasks coming into focus. Objects growing clearer.
he talk to Diane through his yoga every day on the tape recorder? That's what I want to know. He's like, Diane, I am about to do a headstand. She just must fast forward through so many.
How does she know how to
She's
do
like,
it?
"Fuck you,
She's definitely like, fuck you, Cooper, so many
Oh,
times.
God.
I don't think he's doing yoga every day, though. Otherwise, he would have seen that note. He would have been doing down dog and
I think,
saw
well,
the
because
note.
he hadn't been able to do it.
Yeah.
That's like probably the first day he's able to get back into his yogic practice
Right.
because of being shot 4 days ago. I know that note, that elusive note. He finally finds it.
Diane the giant was right. I did forget something. We've gone north. Jack may have the answer. Love, Audrey.
Love Audrey. She throws
Aw,
the
my
love in
special
there.
agent, yeah.
Oh, the other interesting thing about this is that he has that bed head again.
He does, yeah, he has his dream bedhead.
That swoop. He sleeps on his
On
left
his left side with all his hair gel in.
Yeah, doesn't take a
Does
shower
not
before
get
bed.
the gel out of the hair before he goes to bed.
He's hitting the sack pretty late, I guess.
There's no beauty routine after the day. He
No.
just goes right to bed. That's what I do, too.
Fair. Hopefully he's getting those pillowcases changed every day, otherwise there's a lot of gel on those things.
I'm sure they provide that
Yeah.
service.
Changing linens. Yeah, that was before the...
Before hotels stopped doing that, like
before you put the sign out or whatever. Like, they're
Yeah,
not
they-
saving
you know,
your
they-
towel.
yeah, you have to leave something a certain way if you want the sheets changed every day.
Yeah. At the police station, Hawk enters in a rush. He was out already. He's had a busy morning. He was just out by the Pearl Lakes.
Hey, thought we lost you to the Kalispell Woods. 2 retired female school teachers live in that house next to the Palmers. They have no memory of a gray-haired man. Oh, I had to drink 3 pots of chamomile tea to find that out. Which reminds me, would you excuse me for a minute? Sure.
The 2 retired female school teachers, just friends, living together.
Just a lifelong friend, roommates.
2 spinsters.
I do really love that detail. 2 retired female school teachers.
Right.
It was like Barb and Star.
It could be maybe they are Barb and Star.
I like everything plain.
They like their chamomile tea.
It's really the best flavor.
But anyways, they have no memory of a gray-haired man living next door. He says it took 2 pots of chamomile tea to get that out of them, which is really fun to imagine. I wish we could have seen that scene.
Yeah, oh gosh. Is there a deleted scene of the 2 ladies with the chamomile tea?
And ever helpful Harry, keeping everything running, says, keep looking for that one-armed man.
Keep looking for the one-armed man. We gotta find him.
Who has a name, by the way. His name
Right.
is Gerard. Philip Gerard. Stop being so ableist, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah,
Right.
we. What's his name?
Right.
He's like munching on a donut and like, we're going to find him. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure.
God, that's
Hawk has
very...
a lot of patience with these people, to be honest.
Really does. He knows what that we means. I'll be driving back out to the fucking Pearl Lakes again. Maybe it's better that way. Maybe he likes not having to be in the office all day with these crazy people. Like Lucy.
Did you notice there are so many donut boxes in
I
this
did.
scene? Like a whole stack from the floor
There were donut
up.
boxes, and on top of the boxes were donuts. Not in the boxes, maybe, but maybe there were. And then behind them, there was a plate
The big
piled
silver
high
tray.
with donuts.
Yeah.
Why did they do this?
And Harry's going to town on him already.
I mean, at least he's eating one.
It's probably
Hopefully
like
it's fresh.
7, 8:30, 8 o'clock. Coop got up at 6:42, so it's like early morning still.
Gosh, did Hawk like spend the night? Like, yeah,
We met them at like 5 a.m. It seems
weird.
like.
Yeah, seems
I
like
know.
that. Yeah, girlfriend, no way.
Right. There's no way he's getting paid enough for this.
Excuse me, Cheryl. I just wanted to say goodbye because, as you know, I'm going down to Tacoma for 2 days to visit my sister Gwen and her husband Larry, who had a baby last week.
Right.
That is, Gwen had the baby. Larry's the father.
Why did she come into work that day? Is the question.
I think because she was going
She was
to
gonna
show
meet
the
the
girl,
can-do.
the
Yeah.
can-do
Can-do
girl.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as the can-do temp girl gets here, I'll explain the phones and the coffee and the
Lucy.
intercom.
It's okay.
The
We
way
got it covered.
And they're like, it's okay, you can leave. She wants to go to Tacoma for 2 days, which she says back to Tacoma, which is where she was from.
Alright.
Love it. That's a long drive. She's only going for 2 days. It's going to be like a 7-hour drive.
But she's not going to Tacoma.
Yeah, she does. She doesn't get that abortion. She did consider it an abortion.
Oh.
Yeah.
She was just calling the Adams abortionery.
She was just calling around, asking about abortion pricing.
And yeah.
Thought maybe she got as far as Adams. She called Aaron's.
I mean, I feel like I would call like Amy's, or I would like a female-owned business, you know.
Maybe it's Amy Adams.
Oh, maybe. Is that what she did before she got famous? All right, we're doing great with streamlining this podcast tonight.
Leave it in.
Right. We're still in the second scene of this episode. My God.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I love the line though that she's hanging around to teach the phones to the temps, which is also crazy because Lucy's not great with the phones.
Right.
But then I love her line.
sometimes I can't do girls can.
I think that's a great delivery on that line. It's a fun line. Harry's pushing her out the door, literally pushing her out the door. She runs into Coop, who ever the gentleman holds the door for her instead of
pushing her through
pulling
it.
her through.
Have a safe trip, Lucy.
Harry asks, what's the word on her delivery tonight? And Coop says,
We won't need it. We got the jump on him. I know where Audrey is.
they have a plan.
We got the jump on him.
They got the jump.
Yeah.
Finally, we're in the third scene of this episode. At the Johnson home, where
Squiggy.
fun character Tim Pinkle.
Mr. Pinkle, I want my cousin Leo to have the fullest possible experience of life.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Tim Pinkle was previously mentioned by Pete.
Oh.
He is Tim of Tim and Tom's Taxidermy.
What?
And he also used to have a taxi with antlers, and his brother Tom was blind, and he would give him directions.
What?
That was like something that Pete kind of rattled off earlier when he
So
was
he's
talking
like
about.
a taxidermist and also an insurance guy?
This guy
Crooked insurance
does not know what he wants to do with his life.
I
because
guess not.
Right now he's an insurance agent. Later he'll return as a pine weasel expert, and then he'll choreograph the Miss Twin Peaks pageant.
Oh. Jack of all trades.
Or none.
Master of none.
Right, that's true.
He's
yeah.
not really. I guess Jack is not that great.
Is that the ace of all trades?
Okay, so Jack of all trades.
Or the ace can be low. Though.
When you're a Jack, does that mean you're all right? You're doing okay?
I don't
Jacks
know.
are not bad.
I thought it was just a guy
Okay.
named Jack. This
Is
whole
he a
time.
dilettante? Because isn't that what that means? People who dabble? Like a
Dabble.
dabbler, but not great at anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably a dilettante, yes.
The way that the word dilettante sounds doesn't match with the meaning of the word dilettante.
Right, I
to
agree
me.
with you.
Like dabbler is.
I feel that way about chuffed, too. It always doesn't
Like,
sound
does
like
that
what
sound
it...
good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
It's
good.
like chafing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I
yeah.
got chafed.
If
by
I'm
that.
chuffed, that doesn't
I'm
sound
well
good.
chuffed.
Yeah.
I need
Oh
some
God,
cream.
no,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
Tigers don't roar; they chuff. That's why I think of chuffed.
Oh.
Like the noise a tiger makes. 'Cause it's like it's chuffed.
What sound does a tiger make?
Chuffed.
We're getting off track again. Mr. Pinkle is installing some clearly very defective...
Yeah. What? I don't. What is it? Pinkle, pinkle, pinkle. That's really good.
Pinkle, Pinkle, Pinkle. This thing is a death trap. I told you we have to keep him alive.
Look, the insurance companies don't exactly pay off like the slots, you know. After we take our cuts, we had only money for this or a first-rate wheelbarrow.
Bubby's great. love
I don't
Bubby
even
in
get
this
what it's supposed to. It's like it's supposed to like lift you and move you 2 feet side to side. What?
It's to hoist him into bed.
It's to hoist him into bed.
'Cause so he can't
Oh, that
possibly
makes
lift
sense.
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I
That's
got
all it's supposed to do. It's not supposed to take you all around the room.
Okay. Yeah.
It's supposed
I'm like,
to just
this
go
is-
up and over and back, like a
Ah.
little swivel, gentle swivel, rather than a herky-jerky.
It still seems very elaborate for this purpose.
It's elaborate for a gag in the TV show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give it
Someone
a
really
big
had to
hit.
make it.
A lot of gags in this particular episode are a little on the nose for
Mm-hmm.
me, and like not particularly funny at
Yeah.
this point in my life. But I do remember the first time I watched this, thinking that scene was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it stayed with me, I think, because also I really like the actor.
Squiggy.
And
Yeah.
I know Squiggy from my childhood watching Laverne and Shirley.
And there is no reason on earth why Prince Charming cannot walk through our front door. Hello.
David L. Lander is this actor's name. Yes, a.k.a. Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley.
I loved that show.
Yeah, that was a fun show. I really loved that when I was a kid, too. I wonder how it holds up.
I did, too, yeah.
I don't think it was meant for children. Because they were always, like, going on dates. I remember being like, this is what it will be like when I am a grown-up.
Yeah, but it was
really
also...
excited about it.
It was one of those things, like the stuff that was on TV back then where it's like, the sexual politics are so strange. Like, Shirley was dating Carmine forever, but, like, the most they ever did was, like, kiss on the cheek, kind of. And it'd be like, woo! Yeah.
I think they went on double dates a lot.
Yes, they went on double dates.
Laverne, Shirley, Lenny, and Squiggy?
No, Lenny and Squiggy, like, always were, like
their
hitting on them all the time.
They wanted to date them.
Yeah.
And they were not interested.
Right.
And did Laverne ever have a boyfriend?
I think she had lots of boyfriends. Like, she was sort of like the slutty one, but it was
but
unclear
she,
what's
like,
really
went
happening.
Out to dinner a lot with people, like, so slutty. It's not clear. Anyways, that's Laverne and Shirley.
Right, but this is relevant because it was Squiggy who's playing Pinkle, Pinkle, Pinkle.
Pinkle, Pinkle. I love Bobby's. He does some good physical comedy in this.
Bobby's very good. Yeah, and Shelley looks smoking hot in this scene, too.
She looks awesome.
Oh, my
I wrote
God,
that down.
Shelley.
Shelley looks gorgeous.
Shelley crazy hot. That's
in
my
that
notes.
neck green velvet dress.
Yeah, and her hair is
brown
killing
lipstick.
it. The lipstick, yeah, she looks very good.
Yeah. She looks nice.
She looks great.
She's very femme fatale, kind of. Yeah.
But she's going to make the most of it by making out with Bobby while Mr. Pinkle is
stuck in his contraption.
Obviously, he's a very sleazy insurance guy who basically just straight up mentions that they're like taking way too much money off the top. After we take our cuts, all that's left is this or a wheelbarrow, basically, is what he says. And then he also says, the machine is like a woman, we always say at the shop, as he's hitting it.
Yes, not a great analogy there.
I can't believe that it was working just so perfectly yesterday. Sometimes you gotta be tough with these things. I think you gotta hit it hard. You know, the machine is like a woman. We always say at the machine shop.
I don't want to go to that shop ever.
Right.
That's a joke that doesn't really land anymore.
No, the whole day hitting a woman joke. Hilarious. So Shelley's got to go to the hearing. First, they're gonna make out.
You're outside with me. He can let himself out.
Bobby, we're going real okay. Bob, I can't reach the switch. Bobby, I've got a problem here.
I really like Mr. Pinkle's line about I've got a problem here, and I like that he calls him Bob.
Yeah.
Bob? Then we're at court, a.k.a. the Roadhouse.
I have so many questions about this. Why is court at the Roadhouse?
Yeah, I don't know why they don't have a courthouse, especially since they had, like, a hearing, like, the hearing for Hank's.
Right, yeah, that was in a normal place.
Parole was, maybe it was at the prison.
That must have been at the prison, which might have been a drive.
Oh, parole hearing.
Yeah.
Isn't there a courthouse? Like, follow-up question. Okay, why is it at the Roadhouse? And also, did someone just sweep the middle? Like, it's like covered with peanut shells, except for like the aisle.
Lot of peanut shells.
But somebody clearly swept in the middle, cleared out an aisle for people to walk down.
I wonder if that's why there's that really long scene in The Return of Sweeping.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it takes 10 minutes at least to sweep this place because there's so many fucking peanut shells everywhere. We don't have that kind of time. We're having court. We have 2 hearings today.
So strange.
It is very strange. I mean, apart from obviously budgetary reasons. I mean, they could have easily just redressed the Roadhouse set and not had the exterior that was the Bang Bang Bar.
Right.
And, like, had some other exterior of a building, and we would have been like, it's the courthouse.
Or it could have been, or they could have used what they used for the parole hearing, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I know. It's really weird. They're trying to have it both ways again with the, like, there's 50,000 people in this town, but we act like there's 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are 5,000 people.
Yeah.
It makes sense in that context. It doesn't make sense if it's a town of 50,000 people. You need a working judicial system.
Right.
Yeah. They don't really have a working judicial system.
No, they don't.
And
I mean, I guess that's true if, like, a
makes...
judge has to come from out of town.
Yeah.
Like, that's how rare... Yeah, it's not 50,000 people if, like, it's so rare that you need a judge that there's not one there.
Like, traffic
there's one
stops
who comes,
at the very least would need something.
I wonder if this is where, like, the idea of circuit courts come from. You know, like, the Ninth Circuit.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually
Right.
judges going around to different places, and they'd saved up all their disputes for the judge
Yeah,
who traveled to. And so it's like old-timey.
it is.
And
I guess that's what this is.
That's
yeah.
what they're trying to kind of give us that feeling. And also it makes more sense that how, like, haphazard all the justice in Twin Peaks is based on the way it's
Oh
done.
my god.
Oh God,
No.
it's so bad.
Judge Sternwood is the worst.
He is not good.
I would.
Like, also drinking on the job is not great. I don't think the judge should, like, let's take a break to get some weird drinks.
I don't think the judge
Is
should
that why
cut
it's in a
off
bar?
the DA while he's still mid-argument.
Among the various crimes Leo Johnson is suspected of, the murder of Laura Palmer is a sort that can wound an entire town. As long as Leo Johnson carries a pen, he is as eminently deserving of a trial as this community is of a sense of reverence.
All right. Now, have a seat, Mr. Longwick.
The DA is not having a good day.
It's so fucked up.
It's hard to respect the guy with that yellow Colonel Sanders tie.
No, that guy he lets say his whole deal.
Well, he's the DA.
He's okay. So
The other guy's the prosecutor.
Oh, I thought DA
No.
was, like, district attorney is the DA.
yeah, that's
DA and prosecutor is the
Daryl
same
Lodwick.
thing, I think. Yeah.
Daryl Lodwick is the guy who's saying Leland should not have bail because he had premeditated murder.
Right.
We, the people of the state of Washington, move that defendant be denied bail on the basis of, 1, the great seriousness of the crime for which he has been accused. 2, the apparently premeditated nature of this act. And 3, the oft-witnessed instability of Mr. Palmer during the period following the death of his daughter.
And
Good
then
arguments.
Harry stands up and says, well, his family's lived here for 100 years.
Right.
And the judge is like, good enough for me.
I know, like, should a cop testify? I mean, I feel like that isn't right. ACAB
No.
anyway. But, like, are cops testifying at bail hearings? I don't feel like they
As a
should.
character witness?
For the, right.
For a murder trial?
I mean, I feel like they should not. Although it is interesting, the line, no one can know what it's like to lose a daughter the way Leland did.
No one can know what it's like to lose a daughter the way Leland did.
It is very interesting
Yes,
because
that's
he's
big.
more right than he knows.
Exactly, right. That's such a specific way to say it, and yet extremely accurate.
Yeah, but inaccurate if things are the way he thinks they are. Because if it's just his daughter was murdered, then Sarah knows what it's like to lose a daughter in that way.
Right.
It is a very interesting line, the way it's written. The
Right.
way
Well, like the way
Yeah.
Leland lost her was to be possessed by an evil spirit.
It would be strange.
Yeah. I
Right.
don't think anyone knows what that's like. Yeah.
Only that guy. And
Right.
Leland barely knows what that's like.
Leland. Leland is very neat,
Oh,
though.
he's so neat.
Very
yeah,
neat.
And
Yeah.
very calm. So chill.
He's
Thinks
bobbing
he's got-
out.
He doesn't really have any lines.
I don't think
No.
he does, no.
He's just kind of smiles. That's interesting.
Also, I think we have to talk about how Sarah is.
Yes! She's seated herself behind a post.
Sarah's like, keeps looking around.
Despite-
like, just move, Sarah.
Despite 3 empty seats.
Yeah, she bought the obstructed view seats. They're cheaper at the Roadhouse.
Oh my god.
She got scared about moving. Even Maddie should just switch with her, right?
I know.
Where's Maddie?
Right? She literally picked the worst seat for herself. It's so weird to have her peering around the post. It's distracting.
What a strange choice.
Yes.
I thought maybe it was to distance herself from Leland.
But she keeps looking around.
But then she does keep peering around.
I want to think they just didn't block the scene ahead of time, and then she said, "There's oh crap." They just rolled.
Like
with
she
it.
doesn't know she's on camera.
Or like she didn't know that she just sat there. I don't know. They're like, oh, you sit there, and then they realized after they were shooting that she was behind the pole.
Yeah, and
So-
they're like, that's where you have to sit because you were there in the wide shot. Or whatever.
She's actually the prop master.
Fuck. You dropped the ball on this one, Mr. Brisky. You're fired as prop master.
Oh, well, she does a great job, with her face acting. I don't think she says anything either, but she's like really expressive.
Yeah.
I love her.
Those two, they don't even need to say
Oh
anything.
God, they have so much presence.
Steal the scene.
Gosh.
When like two lawyers are bloviating,
Oh my God.
the two Palmers steal the scene without saying anything. It's incredible.
Sternwood could hardly stand listening to Lodwick talk. Literally, as soon as he starts giving his argument about why Leo should stand trial, Sternwood starts like rolling his eyes and clearing his throat. It's like so unprofessional. I hate him.
I mean, it is very silly that Leo's like practically in a coma. Why are they having a hearing about whether to do a trial right now?
Because I guess they have to.
Oh, because that's when the judge is in town or something?
Yes, because he's in the hospital. They need to release him from the hospital and either bring him to jail or send him home with Shelley. And I know he's a vegetable, and I know Sternwood couldn't possibly know that he will wake up eventually, or how much psychological stress Shelley's under just from having Leo there at all. But I still just hate that he doesn't even listen to Lodwick's arguments. Like, he might have a couple good points. It's like his fucking right to finish his argument. You let the other guy say his shit. The other guy, who is Jack Racine, that's Leo's attorney. He is played by Van Dyke Parks, a film composer.
Oh, strange.
Who composed the music on Popeye and The Brave Little Toaster.
Oh, love The Brave Little Toaster.
Yeah?
I mean, all this kind of unprofessional stuff seems totally in character for Sternwood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, we've been introduced to his methods.
I hate him.
The only thing about this scene that is, I think, a new twist on Sternwood is that the drink he picks for them all to drink is so kooky.
Yeah.
And it's got, like, blue whipped cream on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something that
they were drinking bourbon last night. Like, keep him as a bourbon man. He doesn't, like, switch now to whatever that thing is.
This is his day drink.
It has a crazy name.
Can you fix this up with 3 black Yukon sucker punches?
Harry downs it.
Yeah, Coop like keeps picking it up, but not actually drinking it.
Yeah. Because it looks disgusting.
Right. Well, also, they shouldn't be drinking
Yeah.
on the job in the
There's
morning.
a lot of drinking in this episode. That's definitely a motif. Just like a lot of day drinking. Because Harold's constantly day drinking later.
He's always got a glass of wine.
Yeah.
A lot of smoking, I noticed in the episode
A lot
as
of
well.
smoking and day drinking. Yeah.
And also heroin, too.
I mean, a lot of day heroin use.
There's a lot of day heroin. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right. I feel like heroin should be a daytime
Heroin
thing.
o'clock.
No, that sounds right.
There was a bartender in New York City who tried to replicate they're called black Yukon sucker punches.
What do you think's in them? It's like...
Well, this bartender, when he made coffee bean infused sweet vermouth, bourbon, cream de cacao, and blue tinted whipped cream. It just sounds very sugary.
Whipped cream's so good, though.
It sounds like something you get at Starbucks if
love whipped
Starbucks
cream.
at a bar.
Yeah.
I like whipped cream, but I just don't want it in my bourbon. I want my bourbon in my whipped cream, but not my whipped cream in my bourbon, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I see it. Yeah. Bourbon whipped cream is very good.
Yeah, I once dropped some pie into my bourbon, and I pretended like I like it that way. I think it's time for me to admit that I don't really like it that way. It was an accident.
So if there's ever a cooking contest, I should
Don't have
serve
a-
you a piece of pie in a glass of
Soaked in bourbon.
In a glass of bourbon is too much bourbon. You want that ratio to be just right.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I just want to say about this courtroom is that Ben's tie, this is the first time we see Ben Horn's tie, and it really looks like something that Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell would wear.
Also, like, why is Ben there?
He's just
He
there
has
to
no
see
real
if his
reason.
contract lawyer is going to go to jail or not.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because Leland does work for him.
I forgot.
So as soon as he hears that Leland's out on bail, he is out of there because he's got money to make.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Leland was going to represent himself.
Yes!
Leo's lawyer wasn't there when it was Leland's part. It was like the DA said all the stuff about Leland, and then Harry got up and said stuff.
Okay,
and
good point, yeah.
He starts out pleading not guilty.
So Leland does make the plea.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't really elaborate because, like, he for sure already confessed, but the time for him making a case would be later, theoretically.
Right. Also, like, he is a lawyer. Like, he might know whether that confession is admissible, which maybe it's not, you know.
Right. But he's a contract lawyer. But anyway, yeah. It wasn't a good
He could have looked it up. I don't know.
Yeah. In the law library.
Well, and also, you can argue something even if it's not true.
You sure can.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
God.
In fact, you can. You can say anything in court. It does not have to be true.
In between these court scenes, we go visit Harold. Ugh. I wrote Ugh Harold, though I do like his shirt. But he answers the door holding a glass of rosé. It's probably like 11 a.m.
Right.
Donna brings him a meal on wheels and a proposition.
I'll share my life with you. I'll tell it to you. Part of your living novel. If you let me read Laura's diary.
And he's like, okay, but you can't have it. I will read it to you because he really loves having that level of control over women.
A bargain has been struck.
This is like Hannibal Lecter's quid pro quo with Clarice,
Yeah.
but the characters involved are not quite up to the mental challenge.
Oh, yeah.
They're not really the geniuses
It's
that
not
we
quite
see in
a-
Silence of the Lambs.
Quite a mental tete-a-tete as it is two idiots having a conversation. Oh, two pretentious idiots. I find it interesting that he keeps a bunch of empty composition notebooks in his secret shelf.
Oh, I didn't think that they were all empty.
Well, but he pulls one out of there and opens it up. It's all fresh.
Right.
He writes Donna on there.
Yeah,
very
I just
funny-
I don't
assumed
think
that
they're
some
all
of them
empty,
were
but it's
written
just
in.
funny that
Yeah.
he keeps empty ones in there. Like, why?
I don't know, for this exact
Yeah,
purpose.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
this is, yeah. I have like empty
Optimistic.
notepads all over my house.
But
I like-
do you have them in your secret bookshelf?
I'm not going to tell you because it's a secret.
Okay.
It sounds like he does.
If I had a secret bookshelf, I'm just saying anywhere in my house that there were notepads, some of them would be written in and some wouldn't.
All right. Never mind. I retract that statement then.
I mean, there's so much that's legit weird about
Yeah.
Harold, you know?
Sure.
He's meant to be weird. He's like a whole ritual about how he writes in his book, where he's got the little bookmark that he kind of lays across and does the folding.
Yeah.
And
That's
then he's
also,
like, begin.
I'm ready.
that's like a little motif in this is people writing things down or handwriting or, you know, drawings. Like there's a lot of like pen to paper in this
Yeah.
episode.
Audrey's
Oh.
notes.
Like also Lucy's scribbles all over the
Right.
blotter and post-its all over
Yeah.
Andy and Andy's drawing and the two different maps that people drew, and there's a lot.
There was a PA that was very busy, like, writing notes.
Yeah.
So he asked her to begin, and she says, I was born in a hospital.
My father delivered me.
And then she elaborates, he's a doctor. Are you allowed to deliver your own baby?
I don't
in
think
your
you're supposed to do that. I
You can do
really
anything
don't
you
think
want,
you're
Twin
supposed
Peaks,
Yes.
It's true.
Forget about it. It's
I mean, I
Chinatown.
did, right. Forget it, Bax. It's Twin
Okay,
Peaks.
that's a good point. You're right. There is no law here. There's
I'm sure Harry said it was fine, you know. Also, Doc Hayward is
Try
the
to be
only
Dr.
doctor for
Hayward
any
out of any
occasion.
room. He'll always be there,
Right.
whether we do or not.
Yeah.
He's like, I was there, why not? He's never too far away, that Doc Hayward. Donna immediately turns the tables on Harold and is like, where did you grow up? And he says, Boston, and then he says the most annoying thing.
Oh my God, right.
Well, actually, I grew up in books.
I grew up in books. Ugh, shut up.
And then
You
Donna takes
didn't.
that cue to flirt,
There's things you can't get in books.
and then he takes the cue right back.
Right.
Who wants to do Harold?
There are things you can't get anywhere, though you'll look for them in other people.
Ugh, God. I
And then
hate
Donna
that.
says, maybe our dreams are real.
Maybe our dreams are real.
I always like any line that's about dreams being real. I don't know, in this show.
Yeah.
That's always good.
There's also a
That's
lot
good.
of talk of dreams in this episode.
And then she snatches the diary and tries to coax him outside.
Maybe I'll read it out here. I'm alone.
Please. We've only just started.
Why don't you come with me?
Hey, that's such a TV thing. Like, I can cure agoraphobia.
Yeah.
Just tell him to go outside.
It's also TV agoraphobia. Like, you would step outside and then
He's basically a
notice
vampire. He looks at the sun and goes like,
and then melts to the ground.
That I just feel is just Harold being so
Yeah.
extra.
Yeah.
Okay, possibly.
Yeah. And then the way he recovers enough to grab the diary and clutch it to his chest.
Right.
Makes me think he's faking. Like,
I think he is faking, yeah. Faking is maybe not the exact word, but like...
he's playing it
I think
out.
it's just being a big drama queen, you know?
Yeah. He gets her to give the diary back and go back inside.
Right,
So it
so
works.
there you go.
yeah, it's not bad. She needs to go to the Josie Packard School of how to influence men with your sexual
Feminine
wiles.
wiles.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's not good in the long
she's
con,
not
you know?
as good
like,
at it. I mean, she's better than Blackie,
she's
though,
Russian.
it turns out.
Yeah. Oh, poor Blackie. I mean, I guess Blackie's terrible, but...
Yeah, I don't feel that bad for Blackie.
She definitely makes a woeful miscalculation.
Yeah.
You have to watch these. They sneak up on you.
Oh, and then the other thing we didn't mention, after they drink their Yukon sucker punches, Sternwood decides to just go with whatever Harry and Coop recommend.
Right.
Harry, what's the temperature of the town? They want a trial or a lynching?
They want the right man brought to justice.
Well, I don't need a circus. This poor bastard, he seems to be a heady cabbage.
Harry goes to tell Shelley that Leo is coming home. And she thanks him and smiles sweetly, but then she looks so sad after he leaves, and the camera lingers on her face, and I hate it. It makes me so...
Aww.
I just think about all that's to come for her, and
yeah.
I don't like that she's about to have a terrible time.
Yeah.
Then we're at the Hurley home.
Yeah.
Ed's bringing Nadine home, and James greets them.
Boo.
Who are you?
Who am I?
You go to the high school.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it took me a second. You're not in any of my classes.
She still doesn't remember him, which is
Yay.
great. Who are you? We get another little shot of her ceramic menagerie, which is fun.
The eye patch one, yeah.
Nadine is still acting like she's in high school, and Ed tells James they have to roll with it. Doc Hayward says roll with the punches. This is just weird exposition. James is almost like acting like the audience right now. Like, what if she goes to see Jacoby, our town psychiatrist?
Yay.
And Ed's like, well, he's in Hawaii recovering from his heart attack.
Right. Yes, in case people haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. So, no Jacoby right now. We will get Jacoby later on this. And then Nadine goes to get a drink, and she comes back, and she's ripped the refrigerator door off.
That's really funny.
It just came right off.
That's like a fish and percolator contender for me, for sure. Like, she just walks in with the fridge door in her hand.
Yeah.
Like, whoops.
I do love her own surprise at it. She's
Yeah.
just like, it just came off in my hand. Also, she's very striking that she's wearing these big yellow gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Gloves are kind of a motif. Because
Yeah.
later on you see
Maddie
a
has
close-up of
gloves
Maddie with
later.
her leather gloves. Or a couple close-ups, because she's like in the bush and then she's feeling around for the secret knob. Secret gloves.
When we had a Twin Peaks party when I was in college, the girl that we had come as Nadine, we teased her about ripping refrigerator doors off. Because we worked together in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Aw.
But she didn't. Did she have a refrigerator door?
She
or
might
was
have.
she-
I can't remember for sure. I'm getting it all confused.
That's a
She
good
might have
prop
actually
if
ripped-
you're
Maybe that's
Nadine.
why we had her come as Nadine.
She just had superhuman
Because she
strength.
was super strong.
That
And
makes
clumsy.
Yeah, because I can see that. If you don't know your super strength, then you're just going to break a lot of shit.
Yeah, I like when superhero movies start with the superhero like not being able to control their powers very well.
Mm-hmm.
Punching holes in walls, or Spider-Man making a mess with his webs.
Spider spooch.
Spider spooch.
At the Great Northern, we get another exterior of the Salish Lodge.
Yeah.
This time with a special sign.
A special sign that says the Great Northern.
Yeah, I wonder where that sign is now. It's not there.
No, I assume not.
And then in Ben's office, Mr. Chochimura is here.
Oh, boy.
Mr. Totomora is here.
Mr. Who?
Oh.
It's so horrible.
I am an Asian investor.
I represent Asian Investment Bank. We have superior offer for Ghostwood Project.
The firm is called the Asian Investment Firm.
Yes, maybe you've heard of us.
Right.
Ben is fooled. So
Asians love it when they're all just lumped together, you know?
The Asian investment firm of Hong Kong. That's just the Asian country has one.
Right.
Has a branch. Oh my god. It's terrible. And I don't like the angle of the camera in this scene. Like the way it's shot across the desk. It's like really low. I like a lot of the direction in this episode, but I don't like the way this shot of Mr. Tojimura is set up.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to not reveal Mr. Tojimura's true identity.
Yeah.
With
Right.
strange camera angles, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's probably part of it. I know, it's hard to watch and remind yourself that you're not supposed to know who this is.
Mm-hmm.
That you're just supposed to take this as the storyline is about some
Mysterious
Asian
investor.
man who has shown up.
Yeah. Her voice that she's doing reminds me of when Princess Leia puts that voice disguiser on
Yoto.
to rescue Han Solo. I feel like that's what's going on there.
She's got a thermal detonator.
Anyway, she knows Ben well enough to know that if she hands him a check for $5 million, he will not question anything further. And that is exactly what happens.
I mean, she was pretty convincing. She had that guy with her.
Right. Yeah, some guy.
An attaché or what have you. I don't know. I feel like that guy was just... She just hired him from, like, Seattle
Jet
Rep
City
or something.
Improv.
Yeah.
Just yes and the whole way through this interview with this
All you have to do
dumbass.
is, like, hand these papers over and look official and don't talk. I'm not paying you to have any lines, so definitely don't say anything. Ben is busy, so when Mr. Tochimura leaves, he is meeting with Hank. There's a really interesting shot of the hallway.
Oh, right.
It's just a long shot of the hallway. We've seen this hallway before. And Hank's coming down the hall, but he hears Coop coming behind him and does a quick duck into a doorway. And then at the same time, Coop blows a duck whistle, which is just really funny to me. I don't know.
And Bobby's also there.
And then Bobby's like in the background.
Sneaking
around.
Why is Bobby sneaking around there?
I don't remember.
Right, yeah. Why is he there at all? He was just over at Shelley's house.
Yeah. I'm not sure why he's there. He doesn't want to be seen by
anyone.
Hank or Cooper.
Right.
Yeah.
Then the best thing would be not there.
Right.
Why is he even there?
I don't remember.
I mean, later he ends up working.
Yeah, after they realize that the insurance money is not enough, he
Right.
gets a job with Ben, but that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's just kind of a funny scene. I mean, maybe Dana Ashbrook was just there that day. They're like, we want to do a funny scene in the hall. With
What if
people
it's
sneaking
like-
around.
What if he was like just on his way to craft services or something, and then
He
he
got
was
in
like,
the shot. Oh, what? Oh.
Dana, I think we can use you.
Oh, that camera's running. Oops. Ooh, sorry.
That's what happened. Hank knows to go in the back door.
Yeah, Hank's got his little hidey hole. He pops out.
Right.
The secret door.
It's so weird. And then Coop comes in, and I love Coop's swagger. Though.
Yeah, Coop is very confident, taking up the whole couch like that.
Yeah. He really man spreads all over that red leather couch.
Yeah, he doesn't like Ben much, so that's how I kind of read. He's just, I'm here when I need to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll take your money and I'll get your daughter back.
Oh yeah, that's another scribbled note. Is Ben writes down the crazy directions. He wrote it so messy you can barely read it.
The end.
He directed about the failed amusement park.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
there
man.
for a call from Jean Renaud to talk
sorry.
about the drop point for the money. And I love that it's like this very elaborate meetup place that we never see.
Across the border, 5 miles east of Grand Fork, on the road to Castlegar, is a bar called the Colombian. Behind it is a failed amusement park. Go to the merry-go-round. Leave the briefcase beside the horse with no head at midnight. Alone.
Right, because they're not going there, so they
Yeah.
knew they weren't even. It's not even a deleted scene. It's like we're not gonna have to shoot this. So sure,
don't have to shoot it.
sure, it's an amusement park.
Say literally anything that comes to mind. 5 miles east of Grand Fork, there's a bar called the Colombian. But never mind the bar. Behind that bar
Right.
is a failed amusement park.
Why would you give directions to a bar when there's an amusement park? Like it's
We should be bigger than
It's easier to find that.
I know why the amusement park failed, though.
If it's smaller than a
It's
bar.
too small to see behind the bar.
And the merry-go-round favorite horse had no head.
Remember when directions had to have stupid landmarks like that?
Yeah. And then if you read the note, the directions aren't great that he writes down either. He does write down 5 miles east of Grand Fork, and he writes Colombian. And then he writes amusement park, but not. Then he did other stuff after it about the merry-go-round with the horse with no head. And he writes briefcase also for some reason.
So they have to just put it in the
don't
briefcase.
He puts the note in the briefcase. Don't forget the briefcase. He hands it over with the serialized notes, and then I love that Coop is like, stay by the phone.
I know.
Because that
It's
is
so inconvenient.
In 1990, that is a pain in the ass
Yeah.
to stay by the fucking phone.
Literally, you would have to stay near it.
Yeah.
Although you would think at the Great Northern, you could call and someone
Call
could
the
go
front
find
desk.
Ben Horn.
Yeah.
I don't think he really has to stay
Not
by
that
a
inconvenient for
phone.
Ben. I think he'll be all right.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Coop's just saying that to troll him. He's not going to call him. He just wants him to stay where he is.
Yeah,
Don't follow me.
Right.
Don't do anything.
Don't do anything,
Yeah. You're gonna fuck it up, whatever you do. But he does something.
He does fuck it up.
Well, really all he does is put Hank in peril, which is fine.
I know, that's...
Putting Hank on the job is, I consider, fucking something up.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hank's not coming back with shit.
Try and bring the briefcase back.
He has a lot of faith in Hank. He's like, get Audrey, get the money. Cooper's going to be killed by Jean Renault. Ride that Ferris wheel.
Right. Why does he not put that together? Like, what does he think was going to happen? That, like, they're going to kill Coop, but
he'll
still get Audrey? Well, and Audrey. How's Audrey
yeah.
coming back? We're going to kill the guy who's bringing the ransom money, but... Yeah, you'll still get your daughter back. Like, what?
Right.
And then
logistically,
he's like,
that makes
to get
no
the
sense.
money too, even if it's a fair exchange.
What is
like
it? He just got $5 million.
$5
What is it? It's like $100,000, right? What does he care?
He just try to get the money.
He says try. I don't know. He's terrible.
He's not. I don't think he even expects it because he's like not telling Hank enough information to really do a good job of this double cross. That he's sort of like, if you can double cross this guy.
He just basically expects Audrey will be released and not have a ride back home.
Yeah, he's pretty trusting in John.
Like,
oh, right, yeah.
I don't know why you would be, but he does seem to
right,
take
Jean
everything
didn't
he says at
really,
face value, even though Jean Renault is like the fucking skeeziest.
Right. I guess he thought Jean was just going to bring Audrey back himself.
Right. Oof.
Why would you think that?
I don't know. Jean clearly cannot be trusted at all for anything. He is such a triple, quadruple browser.
It's so gross.
Yeah, his motivation is like not really predictable either.
Chaos.
Just chaos, yeah.
Evil.
He's not just like a gangster who wants money or something. He wants revenge and he just murders people haphazardly.
Yeah, he's got some real Joker energy, which is
I like
not
it.
fun.
He's
You
the
like it?
Quebecois Joker.
He's definitely like a bad person. He's a good villain in the sense that he's a yucky dude.
At this point, I think he's our scariest villain.
Right now, yeah.
Besides Bob.
I mean, yeah, definitely besides Bob.
Yeah, that's fair. And for some reason, he liked his brother enough to want to get revenge. At the Hayward residence, Maddie and Donna are plotting to steal the diary from Harold.
Once you're in Harold's apartment, move as fast as you can. This is scary. Laura's diary is in a secret shelf at the very bottom of the bookcase, behind a row of fake books. Now, I think that there's a doohickey on the right-hand side that somehow lets the shelf slide out and down. All the notebooks look the same except for Laura's. Hers is smaller with a red cover. Well, how are you going to get him to go outside? Not outside, just out of the front room, and then I'll signal you with the flashlight through the window. The door will be open. I thought you liked this guy. I do.
I think it's funny that she says that his hiding spot is behind a row of fake books. They might not be fake. The shelf comes out. It's not that the books are fake.
Right.
She thinks they are. And she drew a map, which I think
is very funny.
That reminds me of something that happened to Laverne and Shirley. When they have to break into their office,
Oh my
it's
God.
a double episode.
Ooh.
To steal a note they wrote to their boss quitting or something, but then they didn't want to quit. So they made a plan and they drew it out on a piece of paper.
Cute.
Wow, what a connection.
And never forgotten that double episode. But like, in the first one, they did a great job and like went really well. And it turns out that was them planning it.
Oh.
In the second episode, they actually did it and it didn't go very well.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that sounds more
It
like
was-
the Laverne and Shirley that I know.
It made an impression. I think probably the best episode of Laverne and Shirley. We should watch those and then do a podcast about them.
Fun.
Okay, well,
Do
you
we have
know
to drink
that.
milk and Pepsi? Wasn't that their drink?
Yeah, that was Laverne's Milk and Pepsi.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a milkshake.
Like a root beer float or so, yeah.
Kind of root beer float.
I would try it.
Okay, I will try that. Doodly-doo at One-Eyed Jacks. John has a little contraption set up for surprise stabbing. He practices it on some fruit. Blackie talks about how she can't wait to take over the business. But then she's like, wait a second.
What about Ben Horn?
Well, he gave up control of One-Eyed Jacks. It's yours.
With his daughter dead?
You know, you love a good steak, but you don't want to know how it got on your plate.
If Audrey's dead, why would Ben Horn give you the business?
What?
He should be suspicious.
Yeah.
This whole plan is
She
not going to work
starts
out.
to get suspicious, and he's like, never mind. Like, he literally doesn't even have a good excuse for her. He's just like, forget it. Forget
Yeah.
about it. It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
And for some reason, she's like, okay, I won't ask any more questions. I'm sure it'll be fine, and you won't secretly stab me.
Right. Well, she's down bad for him for some reason. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Blackie could do... God, the women in Twin Peaks are... Well, this isn't Twin Peaks, I guess, but they have such trash taste. Like,
Absolutely.
she's another crazy, beautiful woman. Why are you after this guy?
Yeah.
Unless it's just a sibling rivalry thing.
Maybe it is. Maybe, like, they were dating first, and then Nancy
I think
stole
that's
him,
what it is,
and
yeah.
she, like, didn't even really like him that much, but now that he likes Nancy better, it kills her.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Blackie's pretty evil, even before John was part of this crew.
Yeah, Blackie's bad news.
She's
Yeah.
great.
I mean, she's basically co-operating a sex trafficking underage girl.
Right, yeah. Not great.
And shooting them up with heroin.
Right. so she's not really a catch.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
You're right.
They seem on the surface to be a good match, these two.
Right. Okay, fair.
But Nancy, he likes better because she does something
Something
new.
different? Something new.
Yeah,
Something
he
new.
just says that to be mean.
He's just fucking with her, yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't do anything new. It's all the same old stuff. BJs, HJs. Butt stuff.
None of this is in the show.
Canon.
Jessica, that's all the stuff. There's three things.
How come it's not there's a BJ, but the butt stuff is not a BSJ? Your
It's
butt
not a
can't do a
J.
job?
No.
Your hands do jobs. Your
I mean-
blower does a job. Your butt's not working.
They don't call it a job usually.
Yeah, it's not like a vagina job.
No,
or
I get
something.
that. I just don't know why. Why isn't it a vagina job?
Well, I honestly feel like I have an answer for that,
Okay.
honestly, because...
Hands. Jobs just mean use your hands.
Well, yes, I feel like a handy or a beach is like you are doing something to them, whereas if you're fucking or fucking up the butt, you're doing things together.
Oh.
If you have sex with someone, you're not doing a job on them. You're what?
No, you're right. I like that.
That's so funny.
I don't know.
So you stop calling it a dick job.
Yes.
Dick
A
job.
dick job.
Can you give me a dick job?
My dick and your vagina work together at the workplace.
Dick coworkers.
They're coworkers. We're working on a project together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's more like that.
All right, cool. I'm glad we cleared that up. At the police station, I guess the can-do girl can't because
No, she's
Andy
not there. I
is-
don't think she ever
no,
showed up.
She never did. She was right. They should get a new temp agency. Andy is running reception and he's covered in sticky notes again. How? How does that happen?
Right. How many people are calling
Things get stuck
the
to Andy.
sheriff's department?
This is a character trait of his.
He's
Like,
Yes.
like, is that what that receptionist in BoJack Horseman? The
I
street
think
frog.
But this is, again, so many handwritten notes, and then the blotter is, like, covered. Lucy just doodles all day.
She does. She does not do much actual work.
Right.
People work too hard these days. This was back in the 90s when work was easy.
You're right. If there's no
Right.
police work to do, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't make up police work to do. That's the kind of job where you want it to be quiet. You want to just sit around eating stale donuts. But it's not. There's so much to do.
It's been busy in Twin Peaks these last 12 days.
Yeah. But
Yes.
not so busy that you can't make personal calls at work about your sperms. His semen's. Why is he so determined to pluralize? I guess it's because there's a lot of them.
Right.
Sperms, semens.
Plural semen should be Siemens.
But it's not.
Because it's not seaman if you have one
Right.
of them.
Semen. He finds that his sperm count is back to normal, and Doc Hayward puts it in the most annoying analogy.
Oh, God, it's a whole damn town. That's so dumb.
They're not just three men on a fishing. How is
It's
that a
a whole
metaphor
damn
for infertility?
Right. Do you really need a metaphor for, like, it was a low number, now it's a high number? I feel like that's clear enough.
I mean,
even for Andy,
it
I would
sounds
think.
like Hayward prepped this person that he's
It does sound
talking
yeah.
to. Like, this guy's gonna call. He's a big fucking moron.
He's real dumb.
Right.
You have to speak to him like he's a child. You have to give him analogies, otherwise he won't know what we're
Right.
talking about. As soon as she catches his name, she starts talking a lot slower.
And yeah, she's very impressed that he's able to repeat exactly what she says.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Back to her. And
Very good.
Oligospermia.
That's right.
That sounds terrible. I have that?
Oh, I had it. Too few sperms. You mean I'm cured? Doc says there are not just 3 men on a fishing trip, they're a whole damn town. I'm a whole damn town.
I'm a whole damn town.
Ugh, God.
Andy being stupid is a gag in Twin Peaks that I don't think is that funny.
Yeah.
Usually.
It's not that funny. I don't know what. I don't get it.
It doesn't usually land for me.
No.
Same, yeah.
It's weird. It's very weird. It's weird choices. Anyway, he's a whole damn town.
Right.
In Harry's office, Coop is going over a map that he drew of One-Eyed Jacks in preparation for their operation.
Very nice map, especially compared to Donna's. Like,
Yeah.
The lines are straight, and this is all from memory, I assume.
It's like he taped pages together to make a little scroll that he rolls up.
Aww.
He spent a long time on this map, I think. And he probably has like something like a photograph. He's got a good memory.
Yeah, that's something they do train you to do in like the FBI, is to walk in a room and memorize it instantly. Like know all the things that are in it.
Cool. It's a good map, although he does get a little turned around when he's in there later, but...
Yeah.
Hawk enters and says that he found Gerard at the Robin's Nest Motel on Highway 9. Hawk found more of that same drug from before, which has a weird, deep smell, he says.
Same drug as last time. Weird, deep smell.
We're still waiting on Albert's analysis. Good work, Hawk.
Preparing us for how weird it is. It's really
weird stuff.
You're gonna smell a deep smell coming down from...
from Gerard's medicine. They're still waiting on Albert's analysis from the other syringe, and I feel like Albert could have had that done by now, but he's like, let these fuckers wait. I don't want to do these guys any more favors. I don't know, it just seems like it wouldn't take him very long to analyze a medication, but he's still working on it.
Really weird.
It's really weird stuff.
Yeah, it should be easy to track if it's that unique.
Right.
Albert's all over it. Even not in the episode, he's fucking with these people.
Well, they're on their own trip anyway. They've got extracurriculars to work on. Harry gives Hawk a kind of knowing look that he feels like he's being really sneaky, and Hawk's like, what?
Hawk. See you in the morning.
He doesn't say thank you, which I find very annoying. Hawk's been working all day.
Yes.
On actual police stuff, while Coop and Harry have been doing their stupid shit. I mean, it's not stupid shit. It's important, but like, they've been doing their non-police business.
Yeah.
And they keep sending Hawk on errands, and then he's just like, all right, you can go.
Yeah.
They take Hawk for granted. And he's like the only one
How about thanks for all you've done today, Hawk?
He's really carrying the whole department.
Right.
In the return, I do actually wish he had been the police chief.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice that we got to see Robert Forrester.
I mean,
he could have easily been a deputy.
I feel like the way he's saying it, it's like he means we're doing a secret thing that I don't want you mixed up in.
I still think he just owes Hawk a thank you.
Yes.
And especially since
I'm not
literally
defending
the
Harry
next
ever.
Seed, he says thanks to Andy, who definitely didn't do anything useful today.
He says, thanks, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
He really isn't.
Right. No.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Andy gets thanks for being an idiot, and Hawk gets nothing for basically. I mean,
it's like they have
a life leader.
They have an oldest child, youngest child dynamic.
Oh my god,
you
totally. The baby needs coddling.
Yes.
Oh wow, he's our special little baby.
He's our special little guy.
That's how it goes.
Go make your own sandwich, Hawk.
We expect more from you.
Anyways, Andy's doing a great job. At the front desk, he tries to call Lucy, but he dials the wrong number, and that's when he gets Adam's
well, it's not the wrong
clinic.
number. It's the number that she wrote down.
There were two numbers on the paper.
Yeah.
And the first one is the name of his sister. And so maybe she wrote the wrong number down.
I think she was trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
And had those numbers there, but didn't want to write abortion clinic above them, so she like had a code for herself.
But she did leave a number for them to get a hold of her. She was like, this is the number from my sister's house.
Right.
I think she
But she put two numbers.
She put the abortion clinic number on the same piece of paper.
Gwen and Larry, and then it's Gwen has a phone number, and then Larry has a phone number.
Oh.
And I thought one of them is really the sister's house, and the other one is Adam's abortion clinic. That's what I thought it
I
was.
don't know.
So it's a little clumsy way for him to find this whole thing out.
Well,
That's the plot device that had to happen. He had to find
Right.
out that she was pregnant this way.
No, he knew she's pregnant.
That she was going to have an abortion.
That she was considering an abortion.
Yeah.
She doesn't
Which-
have an abortion.
I don't remember how this plays out other than I know she has a baby, but last episode she was screaming at the very suggestion
Right.
that Dick made, and then it's like, bye guys! Up to Adam's abortion
overreacted
clinic.
to Dick and then
Yeah.
was considering it.
Yeah, she thought it over a little bit.
It's pretty hypocritical.
It is. Yeah, she owes Dick an apology, honestly.
Kind of does. I know. It's hard to say that, but it's true.
Right.
Abortion
Well,
is-
it is very, very funny to hear the guy answer the phone. Adam's abortion clinic.
Hi, is Lucy? What?
Adam's awesome abortion.
For all your abortion needs.
I assumed it was at Mount Adams.
I assume it was a man named Adam owns this abortion clinic.
That's what I assumed too. And he has a jingle at a local commercial.
Yeah. And people
Need
talk
an abortion
about
right
it.
away at Adam's abortion clinic today.
Say, where did you get your abortion? Adam.
I got it at Adams. At the Double R, Maddie pops in to grab a large coffee. James is sitting there having dinner, and
You've got to shut the fuck up, James.
So what's with the coffee?
Coffee? It's for Uncle Leland.
You don't have coffee at home.
James, I can't talk now. I need to go.
You need to go. Where are you going?
Home. Bye, James.
I hate James. You don't have coffee at home? He asked her. You don't have food at home? James?
Right.
Like, people go to diners sometimes.
I know. Like, you ordering coffee in a diner. He acts like that's such a strange thing to do.
He's
And
literally
also, she
sitting
doesn't
there.
owe him an explanation
No, she
for it
does
anyway.
not. And she tries to blow him off, but he isn't having it. I can't talk now, she says. I love it.
Yeah.
And then he decides to follow her and just throws money on the counter.
I know. Only on TV and movies. No one has ever done that in real life, ever. Just left an amount of money before they had the check.
I mean, I'm sure it's not enough. I bet he stiffs Norma.
And so he follows her,
Mhm.
and then she waits outside of Harold's for the flashlight signal.
Yeah.
Is he, like, still following her? Is he in the woods right behind her?
He is, yeah. Because he'll save them in the next episode.
Yeah, but we don't see him, but he's
We
just
don't.
creeping on them. What are they doing?
Yeah. What are the girls doing? Why wasn't I invited?
Right,
I
yeah.
wanna be
He
part
did
of
think
this.
they were all in this together. Their
You could
little...
definitely tell that Maddie was going to do something that he wanted to be a part of.
Mhm.
So you followed her. He didn't
He's
really...
like, Donna's making you do some creepy Laura stuff again, right?
Right.
I want to be part of this.
Totally.
That is my
You're
thing.
getting coffee to stay up late.
I know a Donna plot when I see it.
Right.
Poor Maddie. God.
Yeah.
I hate that she's spending the last days of her life fucking around with these stupid
I
teenagers.
know.
It kills me.
No, she really
But actually, more importantly, it kills Maddie. Oh, Maddie. At Harold's house.
Ugh.
Maddie's hiding in the bush with her coffee, waiting for the signal, while Donna tells a story that is in the Secret Diary of Laura
Yes.
Palmer. But this one is from her perspective. But one detail that is just not the same at all is that, according to Laura, they met Josh, Rick, and Tim at the book house, not the Roadhouse.
Oh.
She very pointedly says, it's a coffee house mostly for guys. It smells like coffee and aftershave in there. And there's like books everywhere. And she talks about a poster on the wall of like a guy on a motorcycle reading a book. And he's a really hot guy that she like fantasizes about sometimes. And for some reason I always picture Marlon Brando.
Oh.
I don't know if there is like a famous picture of Marlon Brando reading a book on a motorcycle, but...
I think there is.
Is there? Alright. That makes sense.
With like a little leather hat on, I believe.
Cool. So, Donna's telling the story. She says they're nice guys. They're 20 years old. According to Laura, they were 22.
Yikes.
They were 13 years old, Laura and Donna. I mean, according to Laura, they were nice guys. They basically, like, hung out and made out, but then Laura was like, we're not going to go all the way with you, and when we tell you to stop, you have to stop. And they definitely at least went by those guidelines. I mean, they were still 22 years old. I mean, they didn't know their true ages, but I'm sure they
Right.
must have known they weren't also 22.
Yeah.
It's nice that it's a good memory for Donna, at least, I guess.
My heart jumps. He's talking to me, but I can't hear him. Only the kiss. I never saw him again. That's the first time I ever fell in love.
I really like Donna's skirt in this scene.
Yeah, she's dressed pretty nicely. She brushes her hair really well before she goes over there. She's trying to do her best to seduce Harold.
Yeah.
And it's working. He stops writing almost immediately.
Right.
He's
He's
not
so
getting any of
awed
this.
by this story.
Yeah. Her first kiss, she thinks it's the first time she ever fell in love. Harold for sure has a boner.
He's like, will you excuse me for a while? Is he going to go masturbate now? What is he doing?
Yes.
Like,
He puts the orchid in a vase, but yeah, it does seem like right after they kiss, he's like, excuse me.
I gotta go.
Bye.
I gotta change my pants.
I'll be back.
Well, he's not used to having company.
That's why he has such big pants. He's like, I'm definitely gonna get a boner at some point. We don't want it.
That's why the pleats in the front of the pants.
Yeah. They are really bad. Boner pants.
Oh my god, I bet that's true. There was a line that I wrote down from the diary that just made me really sad for Laura. She really liked this scenario with Josh. She makes out with just Josh and Rick, and she really likes the way that she feels that she's in command in this situation. And she says, I think that I'm being as good as I can, and maybe more than most people, but I've needed to forget things for a long time, and this was an incredible solution.
Yeah.
It's nice that she gets to have some, actual positive sexual encounters before everything gets so terrible for her. Or actually even during everything being terrible. Spooky tree transition to One-Eyed Jacks. There's an owl. The owls are
not what they seem. Coop's very freaked out by the owl. Yeah, Coop was like...
moment.
His
what?
reaction shot is great.
Yeah.
I know. They're like, all right, Kyle, you're looking at an owl. Whoa!
And then they're like, ow, you're looking at Kyle.
Right. They really play well together. They play off each other.
What do they call it when it's two people acting like that way? Is it a twofer? A tour?
Tour.
A tour. You know, like a winner and a tour.
That's what it's. Yeah, you're right.
It's
a tour.
Shot. It's a shot reaction shot.
It's a tour.
A two shot is when there's two people in the shot.
Ah, okay.
Harry's like, I got this about the smoking guard, and he does the most perplexing incapacitation maneuver.
It's so strange. It seems like you punched him in the dick.
It was very sexual. He hit him in the dick. Then he put a ball in his mouth. He's
like, I know this guy. I know he's
Allow me.
This is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. He tapes his mouth shut.
He tapes his mouth shut.
With the ball in his mouth.
And then he pushes him through
Right.
the double doors.
When you tape someone's mouth shut, you're like, I need this to be quiet.
Right.
And then he throws them through the door, which is not quiet.
No, into like a pile of stuff.
Yes, there's all this weird clutter in One-Eyed Jacks.
So this heist is off to a great start.
So
They've been
when
spotted by the owl.
Right. Harry says, I got this. He don't got this. Somehow they get lucky and there isn't anybody else.
That's not how they're made, so it does work.
Yeah.
Right.
But they are still made by Harry's stupidity later. But first they walk through the future Tiberian baths. I Googled future Tiberian baths today, and all I could find was like a band that was like called Future Tiberian Baths.
That's a great band name.
But nothing about if a Tiberian bath is even a thing.
Yeah, what?
Tiberius is a Roman emperor.
Isn't it like Captain Kirk's middle name or something?
It also is Captain Kirk's middle
That's what the T stands
James
for.
T. Kirk.
I'm surprised you knew that.
Well, because it's also Woody's middle name on Cheers, and that I know it through that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What's Woody's last name?
Boyd.
Woody Boyd. Woody Tiberius Boyd.
Woody T. Anyways, pardon our mess. There is indeed a mess. They follow the map, but then he finds a dead end he didn't know about, which I'm like, what?
Yeah. Coop's kind of hapless in a lot of this, you know. I mean, he gets Audrey out, but then when they get stuck at the end, he's just like...
Yeah, you're right.
He have a
He's
drop
like,
on
oh,
him.
fuck.
Like,
You're right. He's caught off guard.
Yeah.
It's not like him to be so caught off guard, but once again, rough sleep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this whole thing of them going through the hallways. They really had this set. They're like, we have the hallways, we're going to use them.
And they were very well dressed with that wallpaper.
Yeah. We have the wallpaper, we've got the
carpet,
sconces.
the paintings.
The classical nude paintings. Very bordello-ish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny when he grabs Nancy that he doesn't try to keep her quiet and she doesn't make any noise.
Yeah.
Like, let's go
I know.
to Audrey. All right.
Hi. Would you take me to Audrey Horn, please?
I don't think she's available.
Let's double check.
I know, at first he's like sort of pretending to be a customer of One-Eyed Jacks who's lost his way a little bit, but then he very quickly is just like, take me to Audrey Horn, and then...
It's so quick. He holds out his hand as if to shake her hand, and then within the same sentence.
In an arm bar.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's clearly a tactic that he's used before, I think. I feel like he was very confident
It works
about that
because she doesn't scream.
Yeah.
Right.
For whatever reason, she's like, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
It's not like she leads him to her. Like, he's just like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like he knows where he's going. And
It does. I guess it's like he ran into her, so he doesn't want her to run off and...
Right.
Yeah.
Alert the guys with guns.
Yeah. He's like, I just have to take her with me right now because otherwise we're in trouble. He never trusts her. He does not like Nancy.
No.
He tells her to shut up, which is like not
very
again.
uncoop,
Yeah, it is.
It's not my idea, okay? We're nothing but meat on a hook to these people.
Shut up.
She's bad news.
Yeah,
he
he
knows.
assumes she's a bad guy. And she actually, in the end, is like apologizing for how bad they've been. She's like, wasn't my idea. I didn't have
She
anything to do
says,
with
but
it.
I feel like that's an excuse, because then immediately she reaches for the knife.
Yeah, I mean, she's trying to stab him, but she doesn't do a very good job.
Right. He's watching in the mirror.
You
and
can
then...
see. I know, he reaches back without looking. It's kind of an amazing, like...
Yeah.
Kind of a flex.
I'm sorry, I'm making so much
A little bit of a
Yeah.
The no-look knife block.
Right. It is adorable.
She
The like
punches
his
stomach.
punch. He's so clearly trying not to hurt
Yeah.
this woman in any way. You know.
Like, has this
Like,
actress
this-
done
yeah.
any stage combat?
Right.
No? Well, then I
No.
will be
Yeah.
very gentle. And we'll pretend like my punch to the stomach knocked you out.
We don't want our hero, like,
I don't want
hitting
him
a woman in the
smacking
head.
women
Yeah.
around.
No.
Yeah.
Or stabbing her or any of it. Yeah, like there really wasn't. They kind of wrote themselves into a corner with that one.
Right.
He's got Nancy there. She has to attack him, but he needs to get out of this somehow while still being a likable hero.
Right.
Prayers.
I'm gonna take you out of here.
He unties Audrey and fireman carries her out. Harry continues to watch Blackie and Jean.
He's really watching for a while.
He is. What?
He's just like, I'll stay here. And
You get Audrey, I got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens. if
Yeah, I
he
want
needs
to see how
All
this
right,
plays
I'm surprised he
out.
didn't pull a donut out of his pocket and start
Right.
or a ball gag.
Yeah, he gets so into what's happening in that room that they completely see him, or John sees him, and has time to shoot at him.
Well, after he uses the Chekhov's arm device to stab her, and he didn't need to use the device on her. It's
Right.
supposed to be sneaky. She couldn't have been any easier to kill for him.
That's
Right.
true. He just wanted to practice with it one more time. I feel like he really loves
okay.
that thing. He's so gleeful
That makes
earlier when
sense,
he's
yeah.
stabbing the strawberries.
I guess he just loves to stab.
He loves to stab.
Stabby John, that's what they call him.
He's really into his new gadget. He manages to alert a goon who stops them at their exit. And like you said, Annie, they're just gobsmacked. They don't know what to do.
Uh-oh.
I like that guy's look. He's a very cool customer, the kind we don't see in Twin Peaks very much.
Yeah.
He looks
Yeah.
like a New Jersey gangster from like Goodfellas or
He
something.
does.
Yeah.
They're very surprised. They're like, there's no way we could take this guy.
Yeah.
This gets real.
Yeah, we're all right.
This
This is a Nancy.
normal.
Yeah. Harry's ball gag is nowhere to be found for this guy.
Harry's one in the pink, two in the stink isn't going to work on this guy.
One of the pink.
He got it backwards. You should put more into the pink than the stink. That's how it works.
I mean, it depends on what the person's into. Okay. But fortunately, Hawk followed them.
Good thing you guys can't keep a secret.
I don't like that. That's like kind of cringe, like cliche
Right.
action movie thing.
It's supposed to
Like
be
the,
funny, but
the
not.
one-liner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
And he throws a knife into the guy.
Right.
I guess he's trying to be quiet. So a knife would be the
Well,
way
I'm
to
thinking
go.
because he's from far away. Oh, yeah.
But he could have shot.
Yeah, that's true.
He probably has a gun on him, but I guess the knife makes sense to be silent and sneak out without having
They just
any
want to
more
get out of
murders
there.
have to happen.
Yeah, I don't want to alert
We've
anybody.
already killed enough people today.
That's true. I like his casual outfit.
Yeah, it's like you got to go home and change.
Yeah,
and,
I feel like he went home and changed and mulled it over. He was like, what are these fucking guys
I got
doing?
it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to save
I
him.
don't think they have this.
Yeah.
And the whole time, Hank is there.
Hank is, I know. Hank,
Just
so
off to the
helpful.
side on his Zach Morris, another Saved by the Bell prop, his Zach Morris cell phone.
Right.
Fucking Hank, he just calls Ben and is like, all right, well, they got Audrey, and I don't know. And then John sneaks up from behind.
Can this be? Monsieur Ludwig, liaison, in fact.
Does Jean know Hank? He doesn't know him, right?
No.
So I think that he
Basically
just says
saying,
that
like,
to say,
this
this
isn't
isn't
you.
you.
Yeah.
It says 425
Yeah, 'cause he
pounds.
reaches
How
in
weird
and
that
is
that
like-
detail was important because I noticed
Because you
it.
noticed it.
Yeah.
You saddled with,
It's the second close-up of his badge, yeah.
Mhm. He's carrying this around just in case he needs to pretend to be somebody else.
I don't know, or he just like, can't get it back to the guy.
Yeah, I think he
stole
just
it.
he lifted it and it has it. I don't know.
How am I gonna get this back without getting in trouble?
And you just do his little wipey swipey in reverse.
Do it in reverse. Only if Ludwig comes back into the double R. I don't know if he will. He had kind of a weird customer service
Yes,
experience.
gosh. He just wanted a damn burger. God.
And then I went to the bathroom and the busboy tried to follow me. It was so weird.
While telling me how private it is
I
back
know. It's pretty nice in there.
And then we're at Harold's.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. Donna's in the greenhouse window, silently trying to direct Maddie to the secret.
That's really funny when she does the turning motion.
And she's like pointing around. She's like, around the corner.
If she knew that, why didn't she tell her earlier?
Right. Like, describe better how to get into it. I guess she tried.
That's why I feel like Donna could have just found a way to grab it herself without Maddie being there.
Yeah, I mean, she had it. She knew she could get the book. But
Right. She knew where it was. Like, Harold could use a bathroom or, you know what I mean? Like,
they just have
Also-
a kink about getting Maddie involved in this bullshit.
Right.
He's gonna know it was her, even if she doesn't.
Right.
Steals it without him in front of her.
yeah.
Who is the only person
Right.
in my
Oh,
house?
You were here, and then my book is gone.
And you've been asking about it a lot.
Right.
Yeah, like, how did you think you were gonna get away with this? You should have just run away earlier if you obviously don't give a shit about Harold.
Right.
Right, just take it out of the house and be like, you can't leave.
Right.
That's what I thought she was doing in the
might-
first place.
She
Like,
should have just done that.
She was going to do that, but then she changed her mind because she felt bad for him.
because she felt bad for him. Yeah, she does, like, have 50% feelings for Harold.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's weird.
She's, like, taking advantage of him and trying to seduce him so she can get the book. But I think she also just hates James enough to do this.
There's a lot of that. It's partially James' revenge. She wants to be able to say she made out with Harold even if she doesn't really want to do it.
Right.
Ugh.
But then Harold gets extra creepy.
Sure does.
Yeah.
It's a chance for this very famous canted angle of Harold holding the tiny rake. And
Gardening
then
claw.
a reverse canted angle of Maddie and Donna clutching each other in fear.
Are you looking for secrets? Is that what all this is about? Well, maybe I can help you. Do you know what the ultimate secret is? You want to know? Laura did. The secret of knowing who killed you.
It's a gardening claw, did you say? Is that an official name?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
All right.
It's not a tiny rake.
Alright. Well, you can see that it has the fake blood on the tines already before he puts it on his face.
Yes, I know. I saw there's a lot of blood on it first.
Mm-hmm. He just is always scraping parts of his body with it.
I guess. He's already scraped something with it.
That's what he did when he went. He's like,
Excuse me.
I have to
You
go
gotta
scrape my
scrape
dick
my
with
We're
my...
going to sell a claw job.
Claw job.
The
Tiny
claw-
rake job,
Alright,
they
now I
call
have to
it.
leave
Some
it
people
earlier.
call it a
Again.
tiny rake. Yeah.
Way to make it so
That
I have to
was
leave
gold.
it the job conversation.
That's called a
Right.
callback. In the biz.
That's That's how we do it. It's also really funny that they're in this tiny house. There are 2 doors to get into the
That
greenhouse.
is so funny. And they walk out of the doors like it's Three's Company. Or
Actually, I really want to have Donna's drawing of his house now because it's such a kooky house with the orchid hallway to the kitchen with 2 doors that go into the main room.
It is, and it's so sad. It's like a duplex.
Yeah.
Mrs. Tremont lives next door.
It's not great. Bad news in this duplex.
Yeah. Yep, so the last shot in this episode is Harold raking his face, and the girls crying, and the closed captioning saying, ah!
Yeah. But it's Maddie has her great scream. Cheryl Lee does such a good scream.
Yeah.
They really did not do it justice with
She tones it down. Her Maddie scream is definitely different from her.
Not that time when she saw Bob. And
Yeah.
not later
Yeah,
either.
we hear some
plenty of
Maddie
time
scream.
to full scream.
She's a good screamer.
This is just not the scariest thing that's gonna happen
No,
to Maddie,
Harold
unfortunately.
is more a danger to himself, as we learn.
Right. Thankfully.
That's absolutely true. Thank God you're gonna die soon.
That's rough on Harold.
But fair.
Yep. Well, anyways, let's talk about the awards.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Roadhouse is proud to welcome...
Well, first we'll do motifs, which I think one is unhelpful floor plans. Hand-drawn, unhelpful floor plans.
Pen to paper is a motif because there's so much of it.
Yeah.
You see so many different things written down.
Stomach punches are a motif.
Great.
Slugging people, like the fight choreographer
Yeah.
in this particular episode was like, I don't know, another punch in the stomach?
Punch in the dick.
Punch in the lower stomach or the upper stomach, or it's all stomachs to me.
There's a lot of talk about dreams, too, in this one.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of smoking. I like Donna's cigarette acting.
Yeah, and her ash that falls
Yeah,
to
the ash is
floor.
really good. I always get worried when I see a long ash in a movie because I'm like, they should have ash by now. But I know as you're filming, you kind of are at the mercy of your cigarette, and
Oh, yeah.
so it can be tough to get it right. But she actually does have a very long ash, and then she ashes on the floor. So it's kind of satisfying, as the kids would say, that
Yes.
that long ash actually ends up being ashed instead of being ignored.
I wonder if that kills Harold.
Ashing on the floor?
Yeah.
You think he's just
His house,
likes
his
to be
house
tidy?
seems pretty clean.
I mean, it's pretty rude to do that.
It is.
That's true. It's rude, but I mean, it's also kind of like
You should offer an
a
ashtray if
metaphor
someone's
for
smoking in
like
your house.
I don't know. That was a good story. It deserved to have
Well, she
a
wasn't
release
paying
at the
attention.
end.
She was,
Right.
yeah, it's true. It's the money shot, but it's
It's
like
the money shot of her story.
It's like she was so into the story that she forgot that she
Mhm.
was holding her cigarette. I know. I was just thinking, like, when you were talking about ash continuity, it must have been
Mhm.
just such a fucking nightmare for.
I was
Continuity
already. I
people.
was watching it, being like, I'm gonna be annoyed about the ash continuity here, but I wasn't. I was totally like satisfied with the ash continuity.
That's great.
Good.
I wonder if that's something that bothers Graeme Clifford also, and he was like, I'm gonna have a payoff for the cigarette ash. And then I wrote gloves as a motif.
Mm.
Maddie and Nadine.
And also, again, like people watching other people, like a point of view of someone spying on someone else. Or
Oh
something.
yeah, lots of that.
Mm.
Bobby watching Hank watching Coop.
Right.
Yeah, people sneaking around.
People
a lot.
are Maddie watching Donna, James watching Maddie watch Donna,
Yeah.
Harry watching Blackie.
Right.
There's a lot.
Oh, and then that like extra little layer of the Coop video being on in the office.
Oh, right, yeah, it's just like paused on
They just
Coop.
have it. They're just like, this is our favorite
right
shot.
there.
We just love
Yeah,
watching
we
this.
This is our
This is the
favorite
guy. We're gonna
video.
go meet him at the defunct amusement park
Maybe they do love
failed
watching it.
amusement
behind
park.
the
Like,
Colombian.
Maybe they're trying to figure out how he's winning so hard at blackjack. Because at that time, he was like cleaning up
That's
at
true,
blackjack.
because he was hitting on 18.
Mhm. He won a bunch of money, I think.
Yeah, he always does. He
Yeah.
and Dougie, Mr. Jackpots.
It's true. Ceiling fan award.
I think it's pretty scary at the very end with Harold having them cornered and he's such a creep jerk and they're stuck in his house, you know. I thought that was pretty scary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought the heist of Audrey out of One-Eyed Jacks was the scariest. They did make very ominous music, which always kind of gets me. There's a moment when Jean Reno shoots at Harry and Harry hides and then, tells Coop to run. And then he looks back and Jean's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like my nightmare. It's like I'm shooting at somebody And then I don't know where they are
Yeah,
anymore.
that's
and
pretty scary.
They're obviously going to kill me. So like, if I don't know where they are, it's because they're about to kill me. So I'm going to be terrible in a gunfight. If we ever I mean, just to let you know right now, if anyone's ever shooting at me, I don't think I'm going to be brave enough to be like, run for it. He's, I'm just going to be hiding until I'm killed. Sorry.
I mean, I'm not going to be good in one either, probably, so let's just try to avoid them.
Unless we maybe should do some practice, like paintball or something.
No, thanks.
All right, okay. We'll just die we'll just die if somebody wants to.
Let's just all die. All right. I want to just die real quick.
That's us. The Notebook.
It's the story of our lives. Ugh. My ceiling fan word is the mockery of justice that Judge Sternwood
It's
enacts.
pretty bad, yeah.
You do like justice a lot.
Ugh, well, I don't like injustice. Oh my god.
They probably should have had Leland in prison.
He should not have been
He
let
should
out.
not have been out without any bail.
I feel like Lodwick makes great points about his repeated public episodes and how he confessed to murdering a man in the hospital.
In cold blood.
Those things alone. Not to mention the shit that they don't know about yet, but...
This is definitely like the old boys network being like, old Leland's okay.
Yes!
Right.
I mean, it really makes me so angry that Harry is like... His family has lived here for 100 years. That is such a fucking
He's
legacy. Yeah.
Right.
The legacy defense? Fuck off. He murdered somebody. I don't care how long your family has lived somewhere. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, this is definitely an ACAB moment in Twin Peaks, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, an whatever judge, too. The AJAB.
It counts. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it counts.
Ugh, yuck. So that's terrifying for me. Fish in the percolator.
There's a lot in this one.
It's pretty
There were some contenders, but I just have to go with Adam's abortion clinic. It's a really funny way to answer a phone.
It really is.
Adam's abortion clinic. What does your friend Adam do? He runs an abortion.
Oh, Adam's abortion clinic.
Yes, that's the Adam. Eponymous Adam.
There's a lot that's trying to be funny in this episode that I didn't think was super funny. I think the cameo by Squiggy is pretty good.
Mr. Pinkle.
Yeah,
Pinkle, Pinkle, Pinkle.
Pinkle, Pinkle. I think I'm gonna say with Sarah Palmer comedically peeking around a column.
Why is she sitting there?
It really tickled me, just like why she was sitting in a terrible spot and then having to do that to look and see what was happening in the trial.
It is really funny. Yeah. It's especially funny to me that there's a whole row of empty seats just beyond the post.
Right. So I'm sitting here.
This is the humor of Twin Peaks that I really like. Just the very subtle, like, what is happening?
Like somebody made that decision to have that in the background.
I feel like there is a lot to like the theory that some of that is just she was sitting there in the wide shot, and no one will question it because the show's known to be weird.
Right. And she's weird. I mean, Sarah Palmer's pretty weird.
I really love Kimmy Roberts' delivery on sometimes the can-do girls can't. I think she nails it, lol, as the kids say.
Yeah, that's more of the Lucy being kind of dumb humor that works.
No, I think that's actually like a really clever thing to say.
But she says it like she's accidentally found that turn of phrase.
Right.
You know, so it's good acting and but it's like really funny. Even though it's kind of a corny line, really, but the way she delivers it works great.
LVP.
I think we're gonna have the same. For me, it's the judge. Drinking on the job, sending Leland off on his own recognizance. Not so good.
I don't like his call on Leo either.
Well, also him saying, does the town want a trial or a lynching?
Yeah.
Are you going to give them whatever they want? Like, why are you even asking this?
Oh,
they want a lynching? Let's do a lynching.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Ew.
Not
good. That's horrible.
Yeah, that's not really what judges are supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
But
especially not ask the sheriff what he thinks the town wants either.
Right.
Like, the sheriff's going to be like, oh, you're asking me what I want, I think.
Right.
He absolutely is.
Yeah.
And I guess to Harry's credit, he doesn't say, like, they want a lynching.
Right. They want the right
I
man.
actually like
we all
Harry's
hate
answer
Leo.
in a surprise move by me agreeing with Harry.
Right. Yeah. Harry's on his best behavior in this episode.
This is a decent Harry, except for all the bad stuff about
He behaves bravely in the heist situation, although a little hornily for some reason. Well, he's got his ball gag just
Yeah.
in case.
It's just there.
My LVP was also in the police area. That was Andy for me.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't like Andy's Siemens storyline. I'm not amused at all by how dumb he's become with the Post-its.
I'm a whole damn town is very cringe.
I just don't like that storyline that much.
Yeah. Fair.
They make Andy super dumb, and then he kind of saves the day a couple times in the series as like a counter to that. So
Mhm.
he's got at least a chance not to be just a buffoon.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Didn't dig him in this episode.
I don't like the whole gag either. I don't know why they really want to stick with the whole pluralization of semen and
Right.
sperm and...
I mean, I get it. I like
joke.
mispluralizing things.
You do like that,
That
yeah.
is one of the jokes I think is funny.
I don't even understand
I mean,
how that
I don't like it when
happens.
they're doing it here, but that is like when I put the plural in the wrong place in a 2-word phrase. You know, attorneys general is how it's supposed to be, but when I do that for almost everything, I always think it's funny. I wish they'd maybe done a like where he thought like one seaman was called a seaman.
Yeah, did the unexpected way with that maybe.
Yeah.
Alright, those LVPs are done. Let's do the MVP.
We cannot do Coop, or sometimes we can do Coop,
We
right?
never do Coop.
Okay. I mean,
But you always have to ask.
Because maybe we don't say this enough. The LVP is James notwithstanding because James is always the LVP.
Right.
And the MVP is Coop notwithstanding because Coop is always the MVP. So
Right.
in a way, we're always picking Coop, but I never pick Coop.
Okay. I felt like it was kind of slim pickings for MVP this time, but someone who didn't do a lot, but everything she did was valuable, I thought, was Maddie.
Nice.
Because Maddie was very dismissive of James, which you should be. And she did that really good scream.
And she was in that bush for a while.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. She's in the bush, but she had her coffee.
And she
looks
got
comfy,
in and, yeah.
warm.
I thought she didn't look comfy. I thought she looked bored and anxious.
I like the two-handed drinking of the coffee.
I think she was cold. I think everyone was cold.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for her having to
100% feel bad for her.
Yeah. Maddie, yeah.
to deal with Donna's fuckery, but
Who's your MVP?
Oh, my MVP. So I was considering Harry because he's
Wow.
never going to win it. But
I
thought
almost
he
considered
did
him
pretty
too,
good this
yeah.
episode, and he was nice to Lucy, saying like, "Go do your thing. You don't have to be here. It's your day off." And his bravery at the heist. But I can't believe you guys aren't like recognizing Hawk for his MVP-ness. I mean, he did. Like, he did kill a guy. To
well,
save
I
him.
haven't gone
You
yet.
said
but-
penis.
I haven't gone yet.
I don't like the one-liner.
You guys can't keep a secret.
It's
He
so
earned
cheesy.
it though.
I think it's very funny that he doesn't know what lesbians are, but I did give it to
Even
Hawk.
though he's got this big dangly earring
I
on,
know.
too.
I am going to go with Hawk because he's the only one really working this episode. He's working
Yes, he
so
did
hard.
work a really long day. Yeah.
It's really long. He started at 5 a.m.
Drink 2 pots of
He
chamomile.
found Philip Gerard. He searched his room. He got all
Yeah,
kinds of
he-
information.
he
and
saved
then he went
them at
home
the
and
end.
changed, and then he went back out. After
Right,
he
it's hard to
changed
go
in
back
his
out
comfy
after you go
pants.
home.
He had his soft pants on. And he's like, he just knew.
Yeah.
He put on his large belt.
He's like, I saw them working on that map of One-Eyed Jacks, so I know where they went. I'm gonna follow them.
A lot of following.
Save their ass.
Following and ass saving.
And then he does.
In Twin
yeah.
Peaks.
So yeah, Hawk, congratulations.
Yeah.
Even if your colleagues won't recognize you, we will.
Right. Thank
you.
Right. Thank you for your service.
Really Weird Stuff is hosted by Annie Malone and Jessica Baxter. Music by Julie Cruz, Angelo Badalamenti, and Jessica Baxter. If you enjoyed Really Weird Stuff, please take a minute to rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. Follow us on Instagram at Really Weird Stuff Pod, on Twitter at Really Weird Pod, and on Facebook at Really Weird Stuff Podcast. Thank you for listening.